Hello everyone, and welcome back to Caf Anime. My name is Cody. This week we have Wheezy, Jess, and Ethan back with us. Say hi, everyone.
Hello.
Hello.
This week I am drinking kind of my own concoction of coffee. It's like the Schnucks. If you live in the Midwest, Schnucks is everywhere. It's the Schnucks like branded K-Cups, but it's vanilla cream puff with a little bit of vanilla flavoring and Nesquik chocolate powder. It is extraordinarily sweet and delicious. It tastes like a cafe mocha you would get, pretty much anywhere. What are you guys drinking?
I'm not gonna lie. I'm same thing that I did last week. Cup of Joe from Target. Their Anchor something brand. Archer's Farm. There we go. It makes me smile.
We are going to be trying some new coffee that I'm hoping to order today. I'm super excited about it. It has to be shipped, though.
Ooh, that sounds fun. Mm-hmm. What do you got, Ethan? You drinking some water, getting some coffee?
I'm actually drinking what Dad is drinking.
Oh, it's a family affair.
Got some Archer Farms breakfast with some sweet Italian creamer.
Ooh, I was at Target actually earlier today, and it was a like sweet cream creamer. It was like one of those little instant shot things. So it was like super like just intense. It was on clearance, but it was lactose free. And so it was interesting. It was still like incredibly caloric and like had a ton of sugar in it. But I was like, well, I mean, there's a lot of people who would probably really like a non-dairy creamer that's not a powder. So I was like, oh, it's pretty interesting. It was only like $1 something. So I wonder if it was just getting near the end or if it was just like they were redoing the packaging. I know a lot of Target's been doing that a lot lately, where they're just completely rebranding and redoing like all of their stores. So, we're going to get into this week's Funimation schedule, starting July 30th, Sunday, which is the night we record this. You guys will be listening to it on Monday, July 31st, but there's only one episode this Sunday, and that's Seven Mortal Sins, episode 12, which is just weird that there's only one episode on a Sunday, but I mean, they've got to give their Sunday blockbuster a bit of a rest, and that would be Monster Hunter Story and Attack on Titans. Usually it was on Sunday for a little while. I guess maybe they're switching it up, but the other one, Monday, which actually has two new shows premiering Monday, July 31st, The Centaur's Life, which I thought was kind of interesting. Centaur's life. High school is a complicated time for any young centaur, but shy, sweet Himino won't have to clap through it alone. Surrounded by plenty of interesting classmates, satyrs, demons, angels, you name it, no matter what happens in her daily Esquirian life, she's got friends to help her through.
Huh.
So
Is it like My Little Pony, but anime?
Well,
no.
Just going off the artwork. Huh.
Yeah,
There's a devil, I think. I'm not really sure what that is.
I haven't seen the artwork of it.
So it's basically they humanized animals, and so you have like kind of think Lion Witch in a Wardrobe, that like satyr character, like how they kind of humanized him, but it's like a little bit more human, but like she's a centaur, so she's got a very like cutesy anime centaur body, and they've all got like the same fluffy kind of ears, and it looks like they've got like I'm assuming a demon is her friend.
Succubus,
Succubus or something like that.
Succubus or something.
That one's going to be interesting. I just from the artwork alone, it looks like it's one of those like it's a slice of life for sure, where it's just like, hey, we're going to be in this one. It's TV-14, so it's not anything crazy, so you don't have to worry too much. Yeah, it's comedy, slice of life, fantasy. It looks like there's only going to be 4 episodes of that one, so it's a little mini-series. And then we talked about this one last week. It looks like they're just rehashing the same first and second episode as the Sayuki Reload Blast, which is just the next show or the next part in a series. And then another one that is being released this week is Hina Logic from Luck and Logic. Princess Lioness Yel Strova is trading in her crown for a school uniform at ALCA's Logicalist training school. Moving from a small country to Hokkaido, one spring day, she prepares herself for a brand new life amongst the students of Class 1S. Here, she'll learn what it takes to be a logistic alongside unique classmates, including the talented Nina Alexandrovna.
And if we try to judge the book on this cover, there's going to be a lot going on in this show. I can't even know what's going on in that.
Does this sound Roman to anybody else? Or not Roman?
Roman.
Russian.
Yeah.
It's action, adventure, fantasy. It's also only got 4 episodes. It's a little tiny thing. So it looks like it's going to be like kind of an action-packed thing, I'm guessing.
It's hard to tell. There's just lots of characters thrown in the artwork and the front cover. I don't know. It may be good.
Looks like some people have a weapon. Like, are they protecting the princess? She's a princess, right?
We'll find out.
Yeah, it's only got 3 out of 5 stars currently, so that one's going to be interesting. Maybe earlier viewers haven't enjoyed it as much, but once it releases, we might see some stuff there. Tuesday, August 1st, Showman Sample, episodes 1 through 12 are premiering. Then we've got Sakura Quest, episode 13, which, not a bad show. I dig that one a lot. And then the next show to premiere this month, or at least this week, is My First Girlfriend is a Gal. TVMA, just by the artwork, it's, girls with big boobs showing off said big boobs. Junichi Hashiba is nearing the end of high school and going into panic mode. His time here is not gone as expected. He has no girlfriend, and worse yet, he's still a virgin. I wonder what this show is going to be about. Desperate to experience the big first, his friends pressure him to approach Giru, a fashionable boy-crazy gal, Yukana Yami, for a good time, but his first mistake was thinking this gal would be an easy one.
This kind of
Ethan, you can't watch this one.
I don't want to.
Let him watch Yamada.
What's Yamada?
He's never watched
Yamada.
Yamada.
He never watched Yamada. Never mind.
I don't know. It all depends.
It's a comedy fan service. It's going to have 10 episodes, so obviously he doesn't get to the big first time right away. Poor guy.
That's good. You got to make for it.
Yep.
Ever. I mean,
that one's going to be an interesting one. Wednesday, August 2nd, we have the 3rd episode of Resturaunt to Another World, which we're actually going to touch upon here right after we get done with the week. And then we have Chronos Ruler premiering, 1st episode. We all wish we could go back in time to turn back the clock and fix the past, but in this reality, that simple wish brings about something deadly, demons that devour time. It's up to a group of strong warriors who fight using time manipulation to destroy these blights. Victor, Kiri, Mina, and Blaze have what it takes to maintain balance of time as the chosen fighters, the Chronos Rulers. This one looks kind of badass, just from, it's kind of like they took, like a side story from like Doctor Who.
Yeah.
And kind of ramped it up. It's a action adventure fantasy sci-fi, 4 episodes, so it's another tiny little series there. Hope it does well. I mean, one, it doesn't look like it's TV 14, so it's good for almost all ages. Probably a little more action packed, but it sounds very similar to, I say, like a Bleach. Like it's very action oriented. It's going to be just like boom, boom, boom.
Like Bleach.
Bleach is a phenomenal series. I started watching it. I think I'm on season 2 or 3. So far, have loved everything about it. So we're going to Thursday, August 3rd. Only one show this week, but it is the first episode and second episode of Gamers. So I think it premieres this week. I'm not totally sure. I did not see it last week or the week before. Kita Amano has always preferred the company of gamers over people, or games over people, leading a rather lonely life, but at school he finds himself in the gaming club, where every day is more interesting than the games they play. With beautiful club president Karen Tendo, Testy Chaiki, Hoshimino Mori, and the guy who claims to have it all together, Yuhara Tetsuko. Things are sure to get a little chaotic. It looks like the first episode is already out, so this one has already premiered. So it looks like the second episode is coming out.
I don't know. This one, I'm interested in this one.
It
Just
looks
look at
very
it.
Artwork is hysterical looking.
Yeah. Like the Tetris pieces.
Yeah, it's a comedy, romance, slice of life. 4 episodes. I'm just, one of those people that I love slice of life, especially when it's like a romantic comedy. Those just seem to be a little bit more, like I can just sit there and turn off my brain and just giggle at the screen for a little while.
Yep.
And that's usually, those are usually like, I've had a stressful day. I just want to sit and drink some sort of like coffee or tea or even a soda if I'm feeling naughty, and and just turn off my brain. And then Friday, same kind of story. It's the 5th episode, August 4th, 5th episode of 18 If, which we're actually going to be talking a little bit more about next week as we play catch up and make sure we watch all that. Like I said before, that show was like, it's truly phenomenal. Like, it is very much like an anime Japanese Alice in Wonderland. Like, that's how I perceived it, and I can't wait to continue that series. Then we've got Saturday, end of the week. We've got episode 29 of My Hero Academia. Then we've got the first and second episode of Classroom of the Elite. I think, first episode's already premiered. Kodo Katsui Senior High School is a prestigious private school with a nearly 100% acceptance rate to university or employment. On top of that, students have the freedom to bring whatever they want and enjoy state-of-the-art facilities. It seems like a paradise until Kiyotaka Ayonakaji learns the hard way that the school is set up as a hierarchy where only the top students are treated well. TV 14, it's got 4 episodes, comedy, slice of life. So it's not very actiony, but that one definitely looks like it would be just kind of one of those, like someone's getting hit a lot and there's a lot of frustrated, angry faces. And then we have episode 102 of Dragon Ball Super, and then episode 800 of One Piece is premiering. And I don't know if this is the season finale episode. It doesn't give you a whole lot of details. It just says, on their page, the Shonen Jump One Piece TV 14, 1999 is the first year. And gosh, they have the very first episode you can start watching, so hey, like, more power to you if you really wanted to get into it.
Catch up.
If we look on the bright side, though, the people that made this, congrats to them on making it to 800 episodes.
That's insane.
Yeah.
As long as you can keep up story content, it's cool. But if you can't keep up story content, then it's not as cool.
Yeah, I mean, not knowing how any of that series has gone, has he ever gotten the legendary One Piece? Like, that's the one thing he's going after. So,
Nope.
like,
Not once.
God, I would have given up. I'm like, all right, screw it.
Like, all right, I'm finished.
But I don't
Yeah.
even think he knows what it is.
He doesn't know what it is or where it is. So he's
So
kind of just going around the ocean trying to find it.
I guess
he doesn't know what
technically
it looks
he
like.
may have already found it and just doesn't know it.
He got it in episode 3.
That'd be great.
He's just been holding on to it since then.
That's how
I
they
mean,
end the series.
We're jesting, we're making fun of it, but there's a lot of people out there that really dig the show.
Right.
It's from what I've seen, and I mean, obviously, it's a very well loved show. If it's gonna stick around that long, I mean, I fail to know any show that has held that kind of life, either anime or regular TV. I mean, you have like soap operas that would probably be the only thing that can even match that level of dedication. Like if we were to look up, like, say, Days of Our Lives.
Oh my god.
Like, that show has, like, been going on for a very long time, but that is something that I don't think is, normal, because it's just something that has been happening. So it looks like Days of Our Lives originally started 1965 and went to 2010.
Is it done?
But it switched over to, like, that was the original format of 480i. In 2010, it went to 1080i. It's still going, so it's 1965. I think the only show that's kind of been out longer would have been, I would consider, like, Doctor Who, but even then, it says Days of Our Lives aired its 10,000th episode on February 21st, 2005. That's the...
Wow.
Wow.
I remember watching that growing up with my mom. That was my mom's show.
That was my mom's show, too.
Young and the Restless.
I think that was, like, everybody's mom's show.
Yeah.
And so they just celebrated 40 years in 2013, or at least Suzanne Rogers celebrated 40 years on Days of Our Lives. That's incredible. Like, you've spent 40 years of your life on one show.
Guiding Light and As the World Turns are actually a little bit longer than Days of Our Lives.
All right.
Followed by General Hospital.
Jeez. Wow. Soap operas are a completely different, world, but I mean, that's the only real thing I could think of is that same dedication that to this kind of show has gone into, like, One Piece. That's the only thing I could think of is that just that heart and passion, or the money has kept that show going as long as it possibly can.
Right.
But all things aside, congratulations to them. 800 episodes. We'll give you a small golf clap after the show is over, just not to peak the audio. And then we're going to talk a little bit about Resturaunt to Another World. I've watched both episodes that have released. We haven't watched the third one. It has not come out yet. I've watched it. What did you guys think of it? Like, how did that come across to you guys?
So I'm gonna chime in first here, just because. Well, I mean, seriously, I mean, if you've watched anime before, there's very little, like, it's usually like maybe one episode in, but then at least episode 2, you got action. You didn't have that with this. I mean, it's just all talking about Master. It's not even really talking about Master. You really don't know who Master is. You just know he's a chef.
You don't know what it means.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they keep calling him Master, but Master of what?
That's his name. As of right now, everything that I can find on him, his name is Master. That's how they refer to him in the series. But he's this cook,
Chef.
or chef, and everybody loves his food. in every dimension that I can see that we've been to.
And it's normal food.
Well, it's normal food for us.
Well, that's true.
Not normal for another dimension per se, because they're living off of stuff like rations, preserved stuff. That's all like fresh.
But I mean, I'm digging it so far. We're only 2 episodes in. I like all the characters that we've introduced to so far. I think her name is. Oh, did I close my window? I evidently I did.
You totally closed your window.
What's his? What's the helper's name?
We've got. Is it Aletta?
Aletta.
Yes. Thank you. Her character is great. So far as what we know of her. I mean, granted, we're only episode 2 in. I'm gonna pitch this because this is, a wheezy pitch. There are like large breasts in it, but not obnoxiously. I mean, you only see it on one character.
Oh, the dragon lady's boobs are obnoxiously large. I'm sorry, those are obnoxious. She's gonna poke her eye out with them.
Yeah, the Red Queen.
All she has to do is jump.
But yeah, I mean, I'm excited for the 3rd episode.
Yeah, that's the dragon. Her name is her character name is the Red Queen, or just Red Queen. She's a dragon that can transform into a human who's extraordinarily into beef stew.
He does love her.
Yes, she really likes beef stew.
So I mean, the first episode you kind of gather a little bit of how they love his food, because they start fighting over what food would taste great with white rice. And when he comes out, he's like, I'm not cooking for you anymore if you don't settle down. The entire room just immediately just like poops themselves. They're like, wait, what? No. Okay, yeah, sorry. All right, I'm done. The second episode I thought was it was definitely like, out of the 2, I definitely like the story arc on how the guy came across this Western diner, like the Western cat diner, I think.
Yeah.
It was the fried shrimp, or he called it like scrimps or something like that.
Fried shripe.
Shripe.
Yeah.
And that was phenomenal. I liked how it was definitely like 2 types of culture there, where he was from a completely different world, and so he had different like mannerisms, and it's just nice to actually see that like dimensional split where this is actually from a different point in time, or a different universe, or like an alternate universe where they don't speak the same, like, but they can kind of read the same language. And the other thing was, he asked if he like could read like that Eastern European language, and he's like, yeah. So I wonder if he has just a stack of menus back there where when people come in, if they speak a different language, how many languages does he speak? Does he speak all of them? Is he kind of from the was it the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, where they put that little earwig in him and he can understand every language that comes in, and he just has menus dedicated to that language so they can come in and order whatever they want. It kind of blows my mind at like the possibilities and the backstory to all of this, and it's just kind of slowly opening up, because the gal that you were talking about, Aletta, she's I think she's a demon, isn't she? Like that's
yeah.
She is a demon. Yeah,
she's like a half demon,
but she's got no powers.
Right. She's a very low powered demon, and the fact that she only has like these little tiny horns, and she got kicked out of her old job and actually ended up like going into the restaurant after hours, and just eating up all this food that he had prepared for the next day, and he just kind of hired her after that. So there's such an intricate backstory that I honestly really hope they touch on, or at least give us like a half an episode of like how he came to be, because the master has the man that trained him, and I wonder, was it his restaurant? Like, and then I could keep going on about this, but there's also a time variance there too, because at the end of the second episode, there's an adventurer that finds the restaurant. She's gotten older and has her grandfather's journal, who had kept coming to this restaurant.
Which you get a glimpse of him in the first episode.
Right. So
yes.
it it's interesting because the cook is ageless, it seems, where he hasn't seemed to age at all, yet she has obviously aged considerably since he had started going there. Or at least that's how I perceive it a little bit.
Or maybe time moves differently for him.
I honestly
it's hard to tell.
I think it's the dragon.
Yeah.
I think it has something to do with the dragon, because she keeps referring to it as her treasure, and knowing lore of dragons or anything about dragons or fantasy like that, they have an insane amount of power, and part of that is agelessness.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
It's the beef stew that keeps her young.
I leave out that. I don't know if maybe her protection, or her calling that her treasure, and the way that she protected the girl in the first episode has something to do with the door and the magic of all that, or not.
That definitely puts it in a different section there. Sorry, Ethan.
Yeah.
Oh, you're fine.
I'm really interested to see what the next episode brings, because it's already kind of just gearing up to be like a really decent show. I'm really excited that they have come out with these. It is going to be 5 episodes. It's a fantasy slice of life, TV 14. So we're about halfway through. Every Wednesday at 4 p.m. Eastern is when it releases. I really hope that they just go more into detail. If not, I hope that there's some sort of manga that gets released that kind of go along with it, because truthfully, it's going to be one of those shows that I won't feel satisfied that it's over.
No. Yeah, it is one of those shows. There's a lot of shows that end like that. That I've watched in the past, and this is I completely agree with you. It's going to be one of those where I'm just like, I want more.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Unless they completely screw it up.
That has also happened before.
I feel like that's going to happen.
I think this is going to be one of those very rare moments where I think they're going to do it really well, and they do it well on purpose. Every show they're going to try to do it well on purpose. But I think it's already kind of set itself up to be a very unique experience, just because I honestly haven't watched a whole lot of anime that has this kind of twist on my brain. So, I'm looking forward to episode 3. That's going to be fantastic. I can't wait to talk about it more. But then other news, last week we found out that Ethan had yet to watch Cowboy Bebop.
Yes.
He has started watching Cowboy Bebop. What do you think?
I will definitely say that it is one of the better animes that I have watched in a while. It's got just the right amount of action, but just the right amount of plot to where it doesn't overpower itself with either or. And the characters are just as lovable.
Yeah. It's... When I first started watching it, I don't know what age I was when I first started watching that, at least the show. I think once I watched a few episodes, my mom had bought me the entire collection, because it's only 26 episodes. It's not very long. But it's got some great character development, and you kind of feel for some of these characters. They're just kind of... I don't know, it's odd. The art style is phenomenal. I'm not usually super into the stretched out humans, because I feel like Spike and some of the other ones are a little bit over proportioned.
The second episode definitely shows that with the it was like an animal something. He was extremely stretched out and tall.
Yes, yeah. I'm looking it up now. I'm trying to remember. But yeah, no, it's kind of, it goes arcs back to Aeon Flux. I watched that for the first time when I was very young, and it kind of scarred me because it scared me a little bit. So now, watching things where anime has overly stretched proportions. Not like the chibi versions where it's kind of cutesy, but like just they're just slightly stretched. But this one does it in a not scary motive, but it is still kind of like Jack Skellington-esque when they just start like slinking around everywhere. It's like, what are you doing? That's not no, don't do that.
That's not how that works.
Yeah, series takes place in 2071, so we're getting close. We got like less than 50 years before we get some like hyper space ships. So let's get on that. We got Elon Musk that needs to get that going.
But hey, martial arts is still being used.
I think martial arts is going to be something that we don't ever really lose. At least I really hope not, because I did martial arts a little bit growing up, and that was a lot of fun. But bounty hunters are going to be a bigger thing in a few years. That's going to be starting to roll up. It's going to be a great time. Jess, you've watched Cowboy Bebop, haven't you?
Yes.
I'm going to say a while ago. I haven't. I don't have enough in my head to remember much about it.
That's all right. It's how I feel about I have a friend who is addicted to Trigun, so much so he has the guns tattooed on his calves, and he talks about it a lot. But I haven't watched it in such a long time, and there's now different series out for Trigun that I just can't keep up with. But we have hit that 30-minute mark. Not every episode of CAF Anime is going to be a big blown out, 45 to an hour long show. This is more of just a morning commute podcast where we talk a little bit about coffee and a little bit about anime. The one thing I will always try to, make sure we do, make sure you go follow Wheezy over on Twitter, Eric the Animator, at Eric the Animator. His website is also in the description as well. If you're on Spreaker, I have no idea if it pops up on the podcast side of the... I guess I can look right now. Yes, it actually does pop up on the podcast app if you're on the Apple Podcast app. So go ahead and check that out. I also do toy and candy reviews over on YouTube over at the Dream Saga. So make sure you go follow that. My name is Cody. Thank you so much to my guests this week, Eric, Jess, and Ethan. And we will see you next week. Bye!
Bye!